Alright, in this video, we're going to be talking about how to get Merciless. This gun is super cool, and it is integral to some of the best bleed builds out there right now. Now, getting this gun is predicated on a few things happening first. It involves getting the right world boss. It involves dealing with that world boss in the correct way, because depending on what choices you make during that Ravager encounter, it could change what you get as your drop. You could get a melee weapon, and the Merciless is one thing you can get. So to get the membrane that we need, we have to do something specific during that fight. But let's start at the beginning. First things first, we need to get the Ravager as our world boss for Yeisha. So in adventure mode or in campaign, you need to re-roll so that you start at the Forbidden Grove. Has to be Forbidden Grove start, not the Red Throne. If you got the Red Throne, you got the wrong world boss. That's going to take you to the Corruptor. We want the Forbidden Grove as our starting point. That's going to take us to the Ravager's lair, ultimately, where we deal with the Ravager. So, all you're going to be doing is once you get the Forbidden Grove, you need to progress through Yeisha, just like you normally would to get to your world boss. That means following the exclamation point rectangle doors as you explore. Those will take you down your main path so that you end up where you need to be ultimately. And that also means that you're probably going to have to take down 2 bosses. You're going to have a couple of boss fights. So for me, I had to go through the Nameless Nest to fight the Mother Mind, and then I had to fight Legion again, which Legion is probably best case scenario, one of the easiest bosses in the game. And by the way, you'll know you're in the right starting spot if you have this guy as soon as you walk into the Forbidden Grove. And he'll tell you the story of the Ravager. So assuming you kill your world bosses and progress through those doors, you'll end up in a place called the Lost Temple just underneath the Ravager's lair. And what we're going to have to do is extend a bridge across to the Ravager's lair. So once you make your way to the temple, it will look like this. There's going to be a checkpoint stone in here. And you have to get the mechanism up and running, which extends the bridge. It's this thing up here. It's kind of like a giant music box of sorts. And there are pins on a wheel that we will have to raise to play the right tune to extend that bridge. First, we've got to turn the mechanism on. And there's you'll see these cables running to these gears up here. They won't be moving for you, and you got to get those moving again. Very simple. All you have to do is go through up these stairs and through a little doorway, which will take you to another small space to clear. And once you clear that space, you'll come out the other side up top where those gears are. So climb up the stairs, go through the yellow door. Ultimately, you will come out this door at the top of the hill above the temple, right? That's when we went in. We came out this side. Then you just run down the hill and into the upper area of the temple where there's going to be a lever for you to pull, which turns on the mechanism. First, you want to open this door so you can move freely from the top and the bottom of the temple. But come up here, pull the lever, turn the gears on. Now that giant music box is working. So come back over to this wheel with the pins on it, and we're going to have to input a code. Now, what you'll notice about this thing is that there are 8 rows you can interact with. That's because this is an 8-number combination to extend the bridge. You can raise or lower pins. So you have on each row 5 pins, which means 6 potential inputs. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So the combination that you need to extend that bridge is displayed in a book nearby. But if you don't want to take the time to go find that book, because I think it can spawn in different places, just know that the code is 50403410. So I'm just going to input that number, right? 504. And so on and so forth, raising and lowering pins until I have all those numbers matching up properly. And then come over here once I have them all selected and pull the lever. It's going to play a little tune. It's the tune you hear the flautist playing. And once it finishes, it will extend the bridge. Now there is another code you can input to end up getting a different item. I'll probably have another really short video just to show how to do that and what you get. Once the tune is finished, the bridge will raise up out of the water below, and we will have a path to walk over to the Ravager's lair. Go ahead and progress. Once you come to the Ravager's lair, here's the thing. The Ravager is going to have a conversation with you. He's going to chat with you. And he's going to give you some options, okay? He's going to have you walk with him. He's going to tell you a bit about his story. He's going to be somewhat friendly at first. He's going to offer you a deal. Here is where you have to make the right choices at the right time, right? Because there are a few different outcomes here. He's going to ultimately have you and the doe, okay? And you have to make a choice. He's going to say, if you kill the doe, I'll make a pact with you. And he's going to give you powerful loot, right? So one choice is to kill the doe. That's the easiest choice because the doe can't defend itself. It's just laying there. So you just put it out of its misery, get some loot, and progress out of Yesha. But that's not what we want to do to get the gun. Another option is to revive the deer. That's going to lead to a different weapon as well. So we don't want to do that either. What we do want to do is ignore the doe entirely. Don't shoot it, don't touch it, don't do anything to that doe. Instead, we want to turn and we want to shoot the ravager and initiate a fight with him. Now, during the fight, when you get him to around like half health or so, he is going to run over to the doe and consume it. And that's going to give him new moves halfway through his boss fight, where he's going to do some additional attacks that he didn't have access to previously. So essentially, we're fighting the Ravager at his most powerful state, right? And that's how we have to do this in order to get the membrane that we need for him to drop in order to craft the Merciless weapon. So I will break down this whole fight in a separate video if you need help with it. Otherwise, I won't do any spoilers for it. Once you defeat him, make sure you go to the back of his lair. I think there's like 3 chests for you to loot back there. But now you have the membrane that we needed to bring back to Ava. It's the Crimson Membrane. And then there you go. You can craft the Merciless. So the whole idea behind the Merciless isn't about doing big damage up front. It's about inflicting really intense bleed damage. So you're going to be applying that bleeding debuff and stacking damage over time. And there are different ways and different pieces of gear out there that will enhance your bleed. So you can build around it, and ultimately it's a great way to play. I've seen some pretty nasty clips of people running bleed builds where they can just apply a ton of bleed stacks and debuffs on targets and bosses, and then just focus on dodging and evading while that damage over time is just happening organically. So there you go. That's the Merciless, how you get it, and the choices you have to make in order to make it happen. So best of luck to you, and thanks for watching the video. Leave a like if you found it helpful, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.